Just knock me out. Because there's one thing about me, I do not like my sleep to be disturbed. That is the most important thing. I know. I have about 2 hours. Me going home isn't a possibility. Hey guys, good morning. It's 11. I did not sleep good at all. Like, my eyes are puffy. Like, yo, what I tell you, I probably got about 4 hours of sleep. My mind just would not shut off. Like, I started to talk to Jesus. I was like, all right, because if God wants to talk to me most of the time, he will wake me up. That's what he's done. Like, in years past, he'll wake me up. I was like, okay, Lord, is this another instance? Like, what you're trying to say? Let's have our conversation so I can get back to sleep. Because there's one thing about me, I do not like my sleep to be disturbed. I will sleep through anything. I can sleep through anything. I am an 8 to 9 hour a night person. I need the full experience. I need everything. So I feel very just sluggish this morning. I think I might be feeling a bit anxious as well. Just waiting because I have my meeting at 7 my time. I have a couple of things to do today. I need to paint my nails. I tried a new acrylic last night. I don't know if you could see it. Tried a new acrylic and I absolutely love it. It's much better than the one I've been using. So I think I've found a keeper. So I'm gonna try to polish my nails, catch up on some shows. I need to order some labels and order some products for Shea Essence. You gotta spend money to make money. So I have to wait. So I figured I would have you wait with me while I do some work and I wait for the hours to pass to see what my life's gonna be. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is gonna be a very fun day. We're gonna put on some music. Capacity for some coffee. Cheers. I actually hate the taste of coffee. I love a good mocha frappuccino. Love them, but I usually have to have like double mocha or like at Starbucks, I got the sugar-free hazelnut syrup to help mask the taste. But ultimately, I do recommend running on sleep. That's how I like to operate. I love to run on sleep. I love to run on my body's natural energy because, like, if you're so pumped up on coffee, it's not a great way to be able to gauge how you're sleeping. If you're getting a good night's sleep, if you know, you maybe need to change something in your diet, if you need to add more protein or even add more iron or stuff. If you're so pumped up on coffee, I feel like it can mask a lot of things. So I do really prefer not to drink coffee. Because usually I'll drink coffee like once or twice a month, maximum. It's the 5th of the month and I've already had 2. How is this working in my life? I'm unemployed and I still need coffee. Make it make sense. Does anybody else suck the living daylights out of their facial lotions? Like, I use the CeraVe facial moisturizer, the PM one. I use it in the morning and night, and then just put my sunscreen over it. That one, when it looks like it's almost finished and you can't get anything out of it, please know you have about a whole week and a half's worth left. Do it. I promise. Don't buy a new one. Like, run that thing to the ground. Good old faithful. But now I'm at the point where I've run it a little too much, and it's starting to just be like, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and just spend this money. So I need a new one. So this is a facial lotion. I use this one. And I've gone in Boots a couple of times, and I have checked on Amazon, and I saw that the price went up. I have a subscription and it just comes every couple of weeks. But then I saw the prices start to go up, so I canceled it because I was just like, I'm not about this life. But I'm really not understanding. I would get this lotion for £9 max. This thing is 16, 17, you got 14. I even saw 26 on her at one point. 21, 26. What's happening? What's happening? What happened that I just am unaware of? I don't know. I don't understand why the price has gone up. The body wash is still around the same amount, but I don't know why the facial moisturizer lotion has gone up. And this isn't even the one with the SPF. So the CeraVe facial moisturizing lotion, 52 milliliters, is the one that I would use. That's $15.50 for 52 milliliters. Then you got the moisturizing cream for £15, 340 grams. Now, obviously, this one is probably formulated a little bit lighter for your face, but they're both unscented. They're both for normal to dry skin. I think this is for dry to very dry skin. They both don't have SPF. They're both fragrance free. They both have the 3 ceramides, so the hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and something else. And this one says that you could apply it to your face. If I'm gonna pay this for this one, I might as well just get the big one. Let me see how much this one is on Amazon. Why is living so expensive? Okay, so this is $13 on Amazon, which is much cheaper. I think the choice has been made for us. Okay, so that is 3 things off my list. Now I just have to do these nails. That walk was much needed. It was really needed, because one thing I got was some energy. I got some energy. I actually feel a lot better than I did earlier today. It's amazing how much just some fresh air, some sunlight, and some vitamin D can help with your mood, can help with your energy level. Like, yeah, I feel a lot better. So I am happy about that. I have about 2 hours until my meeting with hopefully my potential employer that will then allow me to move back to Bermuda so that I can hurry up and get my life started. No, but for real, that's how I feel. I don't want to say that I'm nervous, but I don't know how it's gonna go. Like, I don't. Like, yes, I have my own plans, and also being home as an adult, I've grown a lot in my confidence, my self-awareness, like, and so now to be back home with all of that will be very interesting. My faith is different. I'm no longer a Seventh-day Adventist. So I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, for those who don't know. So now it's like, okay, finding a church family, finding a new church home, it's a lot. I know a large part of me kind of was happy to be in England because now I get to do these things, but like with a family member close by, like my dad, you know, we could have Sunday lunch, I can drive over, come back home, and we can have lunch or dinner together. But then being back in Bermuda is like, okay, my mom's in the States, my dad's out here. It's like, okay, I'm kind of on my own again. And yes, I know I have amazing like extended family and best friends and their families who I know are there for me, but it's different when you got your own parents, okay? It's different. It's different. You know that if you lose your job, you could just, you know. Well, with my parents, I can move back in and sort my life out. So, yeah, just thinking about those things. But you know what? The only place from here is up. That's how I'm looking at it. Only place is up. So we'll see how this goes. It's gonna be really interesting. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm taking you guys with me on the journey. And then you know what the other side of this is? Me going home isn't a possibility. Right now, that's very much so a very real reality of 50% of this equation. Or them only or able to offer me a part-time position. I can't go back to Bermuda and work part-time. Like it wouldn't be enough to support myself. The last time I lived in Bermuda, when I was on my way out to England, I stayed at 8 different houses with family members and friends. I never felt quite grounded. I never felt fully secure. And I really don't want to be in that position again. Like, I'm 30. I have done what I've set out to do. I've gotten my master's. So now I'm really just ready to be like, okay, let's find an apartment. Let's move in. Let's, like, you know, just get the ball rolling. So although I love the idea of going back home, and that's even crazy to say because I've never wanted to be in Bermuda, but I love the idea of going back home. It has to be feasible. It has to be feasible financially. I would like to buy a house within the next couple of years. So in order to buy a house, you need a down payment. In order to have a down payment, you need money, and money that you can actually save, you know? So it's a lot of things that factor into this. At the end of the day, I told God what I need, if this is what he wants of me, and for him to make it plain. Like, I'm the type of person sometimes where you literally have to hit me upside the head. Just knock me out. Get my attention. Let me know. It's not me. It's nobody else. Like, let me know this is you and this is what you want from me. So with the way that things have happened so far, like, I literally lost my job a week after graduating. Less than a week, because I graduated on a Thursday. That next Wednesday, they were like, you're at risk of redundancy. And then 2 weeks later after that, I was made redundant. So God's timing is amazing, because I was planning on leaving my job around April 1st. And then starting to look at options of either going to Birmingham or moving to Bermuda if that's what God wanted me to do. But I wasn't going to pay attention to it right away. Me losing my job in February, that forced me to look at different opportunities sooner, that I feel like if I would have waited for my time, which most likely would have gotten pushed back to a good May, June, July, August, September, never me. I would have most likely missed these opportunities. So I do feel like God literally took my job from under my feet to force me to focus on something else. We'll see what happens. And I need a job. I need some money. I got a job. I applied for a job somewhere out here, and I got it. The hours would have been good. It would have given me flexibility to work on like Shea Essence and other things that I really want to do. There was a few things in the interview that were the complete opposite with the job that I want. The lady was like, we're not a family. I think that's creepy. We're close, but you know, we're not a family. And in the job that I do want, one of the first things they did was pray. Oh, guys, one of the first things we did was pray. We prayed at the beginning of the interview. Like, immediately for me, it was just like, Lord, this is where I want to be. Because it's not just about like having a job and clocking in and clocking out. It's about like, I know with these guys, I will grow in so many facets of my life. I will grow spiritually. I will grow professionally. I will grow personally. Like, and it's like, I want that. I really want that. So for them to pray and then be like, yo, we are professionals, but we're also a family, that meant the world to me. And in the job that I got that was out here in the UK, the lady said something to me. She said if a kid was like, oh yeah, you know, how many kids do you have? Even if you don't have kids, just be like, oh yeah, I have like 7 kids. She was like, oh, just exaggerate and tell them anything. I was just like, I didn't feel very comfortable with that. Because I was like, how am I supposed to build a relationship with somebody if that relationship is built on lies? Number one. Number two, I'm not a good liar. Like, I do not make a habit of lying. It's not something that I have the mental fortitude for, because I will tell on my own self. You have to remember a lie. So if I'm seeing 10 to 15 to 20 clients within the week of me working, and I have a different version of myself for each client, that's a lot to keep up with. And not only that, it just doesn't feel right within my integrity. Because obviously when it comes to being a counselor and a therapist, there is a certain amount that you don't really disclose much about yourself. It's really about the client. But with kids, in order to build that relationship and have that a bit of relatability, it might be more appropriate to share some things, but you know, not really. So with her saying that, I was just like, that's not really gonna work. And then another thing, she said to me, we're gonna meet this afternoon and we'll let you know if you are successful in having the position. I knew I had the position before I left just because of the way that they were talking, and they had given me a tour, and you know, they just seemed very impressed with me from the interview. I know. They had emailed me and I did get the position. When I had told them how, like, when I would give them my answer by, I said I'd give you my answer by the end of the month, so the end of March. So I gave them a bit of a waiting period too. And she said she really appreciated that, because I could have started the next week, gotten a paycheck for these last few weeks while I've been waiting to hear back from this job, and then bounced. But personally, I just didn't feel that that would be best for the client if I was to start seeing clients knowing that I wouldn't be continuing that relationship. She said, yeah, that we really appreciate you like giving us that instead of just taking the job and then moving somewhere else. Someone else had applied for a job, got a job with them a couple years ago, but knew that she was leaving the island, meaning leaving England, and only worked for like a month. And I was like, oh, like it was really amazing that it was almost an identical example of what ultimately I would like to be doing, meaning leaving the island, not start with them and stop. So a part of me was like, okay, Lord, that was quite a specific example. So it's so crazy how this is turning out, because before December, I had no plans of going. My family had to suggest to me to come back home for Christmas. That's how unfocused on Bermuda I was, and that was just for visiting. I was not thinking about Bermuda. I wasn't trying to go back, like nothing. I hadn't been back to Bermuda in about 3 years, and I would have been pretty okay going another year. I only really wanted to go so that I could see my grandmother, because my grandmother is 93, but she does good though. she's still pushing it, baby. Don't sleep on my grandma. I want to say thank you for sticking with me if you are still here. Thank you for waiting with me today. It is greatly appreciated. So yeah, ultimately, God is in control. God is 1000% in control. And that's the beautiful thing about faith. I know I said I'd stop talking, but clearly I was lying. Like, knowing that my life is in God's hands, if this doesn't work out, which would be like amazing for it to work out, if this doesn't work out, I can't imagine what else it is that God has in store. Like, you know, when you're dating somebody, right? And you think that person is absolutely amazing. Well, let me just stick to myself because I don't know who y'all be dating out in these streets. But for me, I know I've dated people and be like, oh, it can't get any better than this, and da 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 da. And then it didn't work out with that person. Thank you, Jesus. At that moment, because that's all that you were seeing, you couldn't imagine anything better. But I know that whoever I end up with, because your girl is single as a Pringle, I know that my future husband is going to be something that I probably couldn't even dream up myself, because God knows what I need, not just what I want or what tickles my fancy right now, or even the person that I am right now. Like, God, he knows what I need. He knows what would be best for me. And most importantly, what's going to bring him glory. That is the most important thing. God moves to ultimately show his righteousness, to show his perfection, to show his, there's a word that I'm looking for, to show his mercy. That's not it, but yeah. I'm gonna try to figure out what my intro for this YouTube channel is gonna be. Things that I want to focus on, because I think I want to do a bit of like let's just say if I move home, just the content around like moving home, finding my own apartment, furnishing. Woo-cha! I weren't hooked on Felix as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. I weren't hooked, y'all. You had to beg me. My parents probably had to threaten me to like do my work. I wasn't the brightest Pringle of the bunch. But now I forgot what I was talking about. But oh yeah, so I probably want to do like moving to Bermuda or moving to Birmingham, being a businesswoman, being an entrepreneur, and that journey. Because listen, it's not an easy one. Like, everyone likes to hear about my company made XYZ last month. Are we talking about your profit margin is XYZ, or are we just talking about money that you had coming in that really 95% of that had to go back into your business, so your profit margin was only 5%. Being an entrepreneur is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of your own money, and you have to figure everything out. You have to be your design team, marketing team, customer service team, formulator. Everything is a lot of work. And now I'm adding more to my plate by trying to do a YouTube channel. Help me, Lord. I don't know why I do this to myself. So yeah, for real, goodbye.